Welcome to episode 2 of Isle of Scáth. In case you missed last week's episode, just go back and watch it. What if I created the setup for an in-joke that now you won't understand and can't be a part of? Wouldn't that be awful? Hey, guys who watched episode 1, remember my friend Dara? Wasn't that funny? See, now don't you feel left out. Now go back and start the series at episode 1 like a normal person. Anyway, this week it's about time we made a start on the castle walls and placed our first ride. For the walls, I downloaded a wonderful collection of ruin pieces from the workshop which match our aesthetic perfectly. As I mentioned last week, because this is an exclusive invite-only park, a formal entrance isn't necessary. This allowed me to create the cliché castle portcullis without having to worry about overcrowding. As you'll see, I used the archer as a reference for guest height, as I'm quite sure nobody wants to boop their noggin on some pointy metal. To avoid repeating textures, I varied the wall pieces being used either by flipping them or replacing them with others. I googled what are the uppy downy things on top of a castle and then created the battlements using more of the ruin pieces. I laid down some basic pathing and then covered the whole courtyard with some TMTK cobblestone. For our first ride, I went with the good old-fashioned kickflip, added a basic cattle pen queue, and temporarily added some fencing before continuing the ground cover. Moving back over to the entrance, I gave it a flat roof using Idro's plaster pieces. Can you tell I've been missing using TMTK after both Little Rock Ridge and Ready Steady Build? I very methodically placed 2 cannons and then moved on to the end of the wall. I wanted it to look like the edge has crumbled off into the sea, perhaps due to erosion. My inspiration for this actually came from the castle in Fallout 4. Next, I added some props and decals to the roof. However, as none of this would be seen by guests, I may swap this out for backstage clutter later on. Moving over to the kickflip, I went for integration over skinning, which is generally my preference when doing rides. I used some alternate ruin pieces to create an extension from the existing wall. The idea with this section is that this is perhaps an old section of castle that has since collapsed, only leaving the basic foundations. To line the queue, I created a raised flower bed using mulch and some rather dead looking foliage. Thanks to my incredible foresight of enabling the queue fencing, I could now trace over it with some new fencing before removing the old. As this park is very much about the old and the new, I added some more modern looking fencing built into the ancient ruins. I used the haunted house pillars and planks. As I'm a big fan of random angles, I added a second flower bed, also at a slightly higher level than the previous. I know, I'm truly reckless. As a final touch, I blended the real snow with some fake snow along the bottom of the walls. Time for some signage. A no entry for a cheeky staff room I snuck in without telling you, and then some safety signs for the ride area. I really wanted the Isle of Scáth to have its own logo, so I quickly sketched something up and popped it onto a video panel. I could then trace over it using art shapes and hydro beams, 2D becoming 3D right before our eyes. Outstanding. With the logo complete, I added it to the entrance and called it a day. And just like that, we have castle walls and a courtyard complete with a kickflip. Try not to miss me too much until next week, but if you do, don't forget you can join the Discord. Link in description, where you'll also find the Patreon link. Okay, bye!